Terence McKenna, he's probably a control op. Well, he's been dead for like more than 20 years. He basically like was like this mascot guy basically for DMT. Like he popularized DMT and took it, but like like DMT ain't legal in the U.S. or whatever. You can only do it for research purposes, right? So he's probably some agent of the fucking be a researcher. You have to get government approval first, but that and to do all this shit, you're probably like an agent. Like you know, you can't just be putting yourself out there. I took DMT and shit and not be arrested. Like you know, he's one of the control people. And freaking A, like, he also talked about virtual reality. So it makes me think like this DMT shit must have a connection to virtual reality. If you try to mix DMT and virtual reality in the search terms or those chat GDP clones and shit, they're not going to tell you shit. But there's just a video that I saw that, like, this guy talking about virtual reality and how different it's going to be and all that. And yeah, this was in the 90s. Yeah, I mean, so people didn't really have a great grasp, like how could you make fucking 2D images realistic? So it's basically it was early days. So people didn't have a quite great grasp on what he was saying, but now look at that game, that Matrix game, how they tricked you thinking like this is reality, like this is the true image of Neo, but not it's a game image. So like, they try to trick your mind. Now video games are like so good looking that they can trick your mind that it is the real person when it isn't. That's how good looking they are. Like look at that game. Yeah, that came out like 2 years ago. But McKenna, I think this DMT shit like that, the promotion of it might actually like become legal, and maybe this will take people to the virtual reality where they can't get out. And there's been I uploaded fucking videos of people's other videos that were like talking about how they can control your time, make like 100 million years be 10 seconds or some shit, or like hundreds of thousands of years, because they have you connected to a computer, kind of like bullet time and Max Payne. They slow you down in time, so like they could connect you to the computer. And just think about it, like everything's becoming modified. So, just think about this DMT. Like this DMT can be modified too, like lab grown in a lab, and like they could connect you to the computer probably. Like if you sniff the shit, they sniff out your consciousness, like through your oxygen, and get you out of your fucking connect you to this DMT tech and connect you to the computer. I always like this is gonna be fucking pretty bad. Like I don't think that DMT is gonna be the awakening. Maybe it just leads you to another false reality. This sort of DMT, like I mean,
Well, I think that you can't reform human nature. So what we have to do then is dematerialize the culture in some way. And I don't talk too much about this because, frankly, I haven't really got a clue as to how you would do that. I mean, I know there's nanotechnology and so forth and so on, but what we need to do is take the matter out of thingdom, so that everybody can live in the Frank Lloyd Wright waterfall house. I mean, it costs $9.95, and you buy it at the 7-Eleven and take it home and slap it on, and you can live in it. So that's why I'm interested. That's why I, in spite of my nature boy thrust in most contexts, I'm very interested in virtual reality and the idea of making the imagination explicit or interiorizing the exterior world. I mean, one vision that I've had of a kind of future utopia is, it opens on a world which looks like our world of 10,000 years ago. I mean, people live tribally, they are physically perfect, they are naked, they want for nothing, but they appear to have no material culture whatsoever. Then when you shift your point of view so that you're inside one of these people's heads, you discover that when they close their eyes, there are menus hanging in space in front of them. And by glancing at these menus with a certain intensity, they are able to make their way into a culture that is entirely three-dimensionally present for them, but which nowhere impinges on the world of three-dimensional space. It's sort of the idea that you could have the Vatican Library installed optionally when you have dental work, and then just by pushing your tongue over there, why, you could view the Fabrianos or whatever. I don't think this is that far-fetched. I mean, a lot of money is going toward this. Money can be made from this. And remember, I was saying that we have to figure out, unless we're ready to, hang the rascals, then we're going to have to figure out some way to make money out of saving the world so that capitalism can cease its rapacious destruction of things. And I think these entertainment technologies are the way to go. I think that what we should all be trading in 15 or 20 years from now is ideas. And ideas should be worth more than anything. And this is happening. I mean, I was impressed at this. There was a virtual reality conference here last summer, and a number of people came from Fujitsu. And the Japanese are not dragging their ass on this stuff the way we are. They understand what it is. And Fujitsu has a research team of 30 people who work full-time on virtual reality. And their data sampling rates and their equipment was far superior to anything here. The Japanese culture is an excellent model for this future that we're trying to move into, because what the Japanese seem to understand that nobody else understands is they've had centuries of experience with limited resource management. And, our style is, cut it down, dig it out, and when it's gone, move on. And now we're at the end of our rope with that. We have to manage this thing like a spaceship, limited resources.